Hello and welcome back to the Card Pool. I'm your host, Stu.
And I'm Kyle.
And we're still in quarantine, but we have an unboxing coming right at you.
Ooh, what set do we have today, Stu?
Today, we're going to be looking at Theros from Beyond Death.
Oh, this is such a good set. This is exciting. This is really
I'm pretty
cool.
stoked about it myself. There's a handful of cards I've still been waiting to get, and I haven't just because I had this bad boy sitting down. Props call out to my brother for getting me this for my birthday, so why not share it with you guys on YouTube?
Awesome. And once again, while you're opening this up, I guess, thank you to our engineer, Jason Klee, for bringing us to you in quarantine and our own quarantine through the miracle of video conferencing technology. It's really cool stuff we've been able to do these days.
And we're still learning this stuff, so this should be better than the one we did last week. So, but if there's anything going on, please bear with us. We're still learning a lot of stuff. But now let's wait no longer. Let's open this bad boy up.
All right, so what kinds of stuff do we get in these? Well, we're not calling them fat packs anymore. What are we calling them now?
I call them fat packs. They're called bundles. So inherently it comes with 10 boosters. It comes with a die. It comes with also 10 lands. 20 lands that are basic and then 20 foil lands, which kind of is odd considering if you can get the foils that easily, then, like, are they actually going to be worth anything?
Yeah, let me see that dice this time. The Eldraine one was really sweet.
Yeah, this one actually has got, like, almost looks like it's something that we would sponsor from, like, our own YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's really cool. Kind of I like that. Yeah.
And it's also fatter and bigger, so, you know, it's only helping the whole fat pack kind of lingo right there. Yeah. So that's a specialty pack with a special foil, and that's also got all the foil lands, which is going to be awesome.
Cool.
And then we got that. We got our basic lands, and then we got the spoils.
Nice. All right.
So let's start off with a pack with Elsbeth herself on the front.
Yeah, you gotta go Elspeth.
Yeah, it's all about her. We missed her. Gotta find out the whole lore. I mean, I still gotta find out the lore. I missed out a little bit on that.
Well, they're not even gonna publish a book about it. It's kind of a long story as to why they're not, but they're just kind of skipping over Theros and pretending like it didn't happen lore-wise.
Well, that's kind of a shame.
It is, but
I'm going to go brushing through these commons pretty quick, so I'm not going to do too much of a focus on them, but I'll slow down for the uncommons for everyone out there.
All right.
Okay. And now we're on our first set of uncommons.
Okay.
Heroes of the Rebel.
Mm-hmm.
Farika's Spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, all right, I like that. I have no idea how to say that, but something beloved of the sea. Got to love one of those specialty cards right there. And our legend is Furfrou Intervention. Now, this costs X and red. Oh, and, whoa! All right, that's awesome. All right, so, all right, before I
hold on. Let's not take our time in this.
I got a Savior token. Awesome. I got one of the full art lands, which is great.
Nice.
I got a foil rare, which I did not see coming, of a Nightmare Shepherd. So we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk first about Furfrou Intervention, so we'll go ahead and get a nice close-up here of what this thing does. Mm-hmm. So it's a sorcery that costs X and red. And what it does is you can choose one of two modal effects. The first one being create an X1 red elemental creature with trample and haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. And then secondly, this card goes ahead and deals damage twice equal to X to target creature or planeswalker. So this is kind of like a very red card that you usually see. It's all about burn spells. It's all about being aggro. But it's really awesome for it being able to have a chance to create some sort of value on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the damage to creatures and planeswalkers, it always bums me out when they can't also hit players because, like, that's the more relevant mode most of the time, I feel. The creating a token part is interesting, I guess, but then it goes away. Although, you know what? This would be pretty good in some kind of populate deck. That might be interesting because now we have Naya populate as a strategy. But
just even Furfrou himself, like old school Furfrou, this would work in is fine.
Yeah.
Or
and also like this is great with like a Warstorm Surge. You make like a 7/1 token, give somebody 7 damage. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and also like Red's got Furnace of Wrath and stuff like that, so you can go ahead and inherently double the damage, which will double the damage. And if you have something like a Repercussion out there, I mean, it's inherently hitting the player.
Yeah, that one isn't too pricey right now. It's about 50 cents, maybe. It's definitely not the best of the interventions, but it's okay.
It's all right. I mean, this pack alone's all right because I got a foil rare, so we're going to
let's talk about that one. That's an awesome one.
All right, so I don't even know what this one is. So it's Nightmare Shepherd. It costs 4 mana, 2 generic, and 2 black for a 4/4 enchantment demon. And it has the effect of whenever another non-creature token you control dies. Let's get this full thing in view, actually, for you guys to see it. You may exile it. And if you do, create a token that's a copy of the creature, except it's a 1/1, and it's a nightmare in addition to its other types. So that's actually not horrible.
Not horrible. This card is dumb, dude. Like, it's so good. It's ridiculous. I mean, just for example, think about one card in the context of this card. Think about using this with Grey Merchant. That's dumb. It's really, really dumb. You put them both into play, drain everyone at the table for 4 and gain 12, assuming there's 3 other players like there normally is. Sacrifice it to some free sack outlet, immediately bring it back and drain people for more. That's amazing.
Well, it'd be more but less, considering the Grey Merchant wouldn't have the Nightmare Grey Merchant wouldn't have any devotion towards it.
Well, no, that's not true. It's a copy. It's an exact copy.
Oh, it's an exact copy, but a 1/1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, pretty dang good actually.
Nightmare Shepherd's a new staple for black. I'm pretty sold on it.
In the commander realm, that's pretty dang good. I like that. Yeah, especially if you use a lot of sack outlets kind of stuff, getting you inherently 2 uses. I mean, it does exile the creature, which is sometimes not what black wants to do, but
that's true. However, I think the benefits more than outweigh the costs of playing this card.
Maybe. So how much is this guy going for a foil?
Well, for a normal version, he's anywhere between like $1 and $3. I'll have to check and see what a foil version goes for. But let's move on, and I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'll open up a new pack first while that's going on.
All right.
And who's the guy on the pack front of this? I don't even know who that one's supposed to be.
Let me see here. What is that? Hold that up again. Oh, that's Calyx. That's the new Selesnya Planeswalker.
Oh, cool. You dig it?
He's okay. Interesting card for sure. Not anything groundbreaking, but potentially good for an Enchantress deck.
I can dig it. All right. Well, I'm going to go through these commons pretty quick.
All right. Well, so for the Nightmare Shepherd, the foil version is maybe $10. So
hey, that's
not
good,
bad,
especially for a fat pack.
Yeah.
All right. So first uncommon we're sitting at, we have Entrancing Liar.
Okay. Liar, I think, yeah.
Commanding Presence.
All right.
Nyx's Herald. And the rare, we have one of the temples, Temple of Abandon.
Hey!
So this is one of the old school Scrylands. We saw these originally forever ago when we went to Theros, but I'll read it for everyone. It's a land that enters the battlefield tapped, and it reads, when it does enter, you go ahead and you scry 1. You can tap this for one of 2 colors. In this case, it is going to be red or green. It's pretty decent.
Nice. And yeah, that's about $1 right now.
Woo! That's awesome. A foil version of this guy? That's sick. Okay.
That's the new Furfrou. Oh wow.
No, it's not Furfrou. It's Anax. It's the uncommon. That'd be wild.
So I thought it was Furfrou. I thought it was Furfrou, yeah.
Now Anax, I'll read this guy real fast, just because I mean it's all shiny, why not?
Yeah.
Anax, this guy goes ahead and he costs 3 mana, 1 generic and double red for a star and 3 body on a legendary enchantment creature that is a demigod, the creature subtype that we saw for this set. Its power is equal to your devotion in red, which is pretty cool what they did with that. And whenever this creature or another non-creature token you control dies, create a 1/1 red satyr creature token with this creature can't block. And if this creature has power 4 or greater, create 2 of those tokens instead. So that's pretty decent.
I really like him. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid card. Pretty solid pool.
Yeah, I mean, the reason it is because red is traditionally one of those colors that likes to go aggro with the creatures. So you spam out a bunch of creatures, usually in the early game, go to town on somebody, and then the 4th or 5th turn, they drop a board wipe and erase all of your hard work, and you're really sad. But with Anax, as kind of is the same with something like Kalitas Trader of Get or another card similar to that, if somebody board wipes, even yourself, you get tokens back now from it. And if they're power creatures, you get even more tokens back. So that's an amazing source of a card advantage red never really had before.
No, red has definitely commander staples for being able to create tokens, and Kranko Mob Boss. We're looking at you. But so this is definitely a more unique variant of it, and it's definitely powerful to say the least. And
it's interesting.
So cool.
It could go. No, it's all right. It could go. I was just going to say it could go into a variety of different decks. I mean, from decks that like sacrifice things, pure aggro, some kind of Voltron, I guess. But it's pretty cool. It really is. Good costed too.
Yeah,
nice.
And it's actually really cool to see like they use the devotion for creature power and toughnesses for this set, whereas before it was like kind of like it was really good on like the land, which cared about devotion and create mana. However, it kind of fell short, and I think it was really refreshing how they did it like this.
Unfortunately, I don't really think any of the other demigods are worth writing home about, but this guy is the real deal.
All right, so we'll get 2 price checks from you real fast. Temple of Abandon, and then a foil version of Anax.
Well, the Temple's about $1. The foil version of Anax might be like maybe 3 or 4.
But it's also the specialty form. It's not just the regular Anax.
All right. Yeah, I think that it's about the same. I think so.
Either way, I'm stoked. I thought it was Furfrou at first.
I thought it was too. I got really excited.
That was wild. All right, pack number 3. All right, fly to the commons.
Okay. Oh, that's a cool one.
The Cyclops or the other guy?
The Satyr enchantment creature. That's an alright one. But go ahead.
Yeah. All right, now we're into skipped one. All right, first set of uncommons here.
Yeah, what do we got?
We got Allure, the Entrapped. I can't even try to pretend to say
Enraptured.
No, that word I could. The first word itself is something I don't even know what the heck that's supposed
Alluros, to say. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Agonizing Remorse, as I was trying to say that. Banishing Light, awesome card seen a reprint. And our foil is Eat to Extinction. Now this right here, all right, well, I'll finish the set. Omen the Hunt foil, pretty cool. And Full Art Mountain. I can dig it. All right, so now we'll go ahead and we'll look at Eat to Extinction. That's a foil a pack right now, isn't it?
So far,
and 3 packs. That's wild. Okay. Eat to Extinction. Now, this is a 4-drop instant. It costs 3 generic and a swamp, and it reads exile target creature or planeswalker. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. So it's decent spot removal. It can give you more advantage for if you care about the grave. It's not horrible in that regard. But I think they might have some better cards out there, like Vraska's Contempt is pretty decent.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely a lot better 4-mana removal than this. It's another nice addition, especially because this one is an instant, and a lot of the ones that are out there aren't. But the milling the top card is okay. Overall, I wouldn't say this is something I'm dying to play myself, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. Like again, if you don't want to spend money on a Vraska's Contempt, this is a solid budget option to that. I mean, however, I have no idea how much this costs, so I'm saying that I'm just completely making this up potentially on the spot.
This one, it's not even $1.
Okay. Well, either way, it's still cool. All right, so we'll move on to our 4th pack. Let's see if we get another foil with this. That'd be pretty wild. Can never open these. Always, the anticipation builds and grows on this. And also, at this point, we are while we're recording this, we are starting to see some of the spoilers of Ikora coming out, and I am on a whole other level of excited, considering I already have a cycling deck. And baby.
And we've talked about this extensively. Maybe we'll make a video soon, hopefully, to talk about this in general. But I'm less excited. It's another story, though.
That is an understatement. But again, that'll be another conversation video for another day.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're moving on to the uncommons. First one we have is Fateful End.
Okay.
Destiny Spinner.
Oh, let's talk about that one later. I love that card.
All right, I'll pull that one up in a second. Hero of the Nyxborn. And our rare Oracle, but I'll finish the pack real fast. Another foil, Whirlwind Denial.
That's actually a pretty good one, too.
Full Art Island, and that's awesome. Okay,
well, there's like 3 cards let's address there. Let's address the foil first.
Okay, Whirlwind of Denial. So this one is a 3-drop instant. It costs 2 generic and an island, and it reads, for each spell or an ability your opponent controls, counter it unless its controller pays 4, which is very OP for 1 turn.
Yeah, you think? Like, that's one of the reasons I wanted to just call this one out briefly, because, you know, you look at it at first and it's like, oh, well, great, you know, it's another 3-mana counter spell, who cares? But then you look at it and, wait a minute, not just spells, but abilities too, and every single one. This is like a counter flux for, like, even less of even less of a mana requirement. Sure, they can pay, but still, that's like it's kind of like a slightly weaker version of Disallow, but it targets more things.
Well,
So
actually, it's almost a better version of Disallow, because, all right, so it's got like the Ristic Study Clause tacked onto it, where it's like, all right, you have to do this if you want to do stuff. So you're doing like a Death and Taxes kind of style, which is very strong, because it hits Planeswalkers, it hits land effects, it hits pretty much anything that you would want to stop, it stops for one turn. So this is great, because they either have to have a way to create infinite mana, and for them to do that, they also have to go ahead and pay 4 mana on top of that. So something like a Paragon Drake, which typically goes ahead and they get extra mana, no problem. They have to now take that into consideration, or something like using a Basalt Monolith or something like that. So this is really good for hosing that infinite combo player. 100%.
Yeah, and I know that, I know a lot of the time countering multiple spells is not necessarily something that's needed, but it can be pretty backbreaking when you do need it. So that's a card that should be considered for blue players, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like a Narset's Reversal, something being able to hit more than one is just pretty good. All right, now let's talk about the uncommon you want to say.
Destiny Spinner.
Fast.
Yeah.
Destiny Spinner. Now, this is a 2-drop, 2/3 enchantment creature that's a human. It costs 1 generic and a forest. And it reads, creatures and enchantments spells you control can't be countered. And for 4 mana, target land you control becomes an XX elemental creature with trample and haste until the end of the turn, where X is the number of enchantments you control, and it's still a land. So this is an Enchantress deck's dream right there.
Well, yeah. It's like, honestly, I mean, is it the greatest card ever? Obviously not, but still, like, looking at it, this is almost everything I want in a card, especially in an uncommon. Like, it has some very relevant types: enchantment, creature, human. Has a great cost for its body. A 2/3 for 2 is already really good.
Yeah.
And then, like, creatures and enchantments can't be countered. That's better than a Gaia's Herald already. So it's, again, super great static ability. And then it's got another ability that if you play enough enchantments, obviously it's not that powerful on its own, but if you play enough enchantments, this is a game-winning ability.
But it also can be used on itself, which is saying something. Normally, something like this just kind of sits there. Like the ones that's like draw a card for every enchantment you cast, they usually aren't enchantments, they're creatures. So you have to find something that helps with creatures first to then get that. So it's more hoops. This inherently can turn itself on right away. It won't be as incredible like you're saying. However, if it's late in the game, it's not a dead card, which is awesome.
Yeah, I honestly think this card, especially for like an uncommon, I think it should be a rare. It is a beast.
I agree with you. It's got so many bells and whistles on it. Like the stats alone already pass a vanilla test. And even if it was just like the stuff can't be countered, that's still decent enough to be potentially a rare.
Yeah, well, and the thing that I love about it, the biggest thing that I love about it is that when you make an XX creature out of your lands, at first you're like, oh, well, why would I bother? It's just going to get chump blocked all day. No, it has trample. Do you read that? It has trample. That's ridiculous.
Trample and haste. So just in case a land did enter this turn, you can still go ahead and just beat face.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
I like it. Yeah, it's definitely a solid card, and it's probably going to be a staple that we're going to see for Enchantress decks. And then finally, 100%. The one card that you were stoked about, this is one of your specs, or one of the ones that you were like screaming about since we looked at this set, Thassa's Oracle. Now, this is a creature that costs 2 mana. It's a Merfolk Wizard with a 1/3 body, and it costs the same amount of mana it would for a counterspell, 2 islands. And it reads, when Thassa's Oracle enters the battlefield, let's get this in review for you. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of your devotion towards blue. Put one of those cards on the top of your library, and the rest go to the bottom in a random order. Now, if X is greater or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. So this is a new potential win con. Kyle, you love it for that reason, but you were saying it was better than a Laboratory Maniac, if I recall correctly.
That's because it is better than a Laboratory Maniac. Fact.
Well, all right. I'm not gonna. All right, we already argued about which one's better in certain realms. I think it's a lot harder to get your devotion cap higher depending on how stuff works, especially if you're trying to like self-mill or propel yourself to having a 0 quantity deck, because typically they don't have many permanents on the field. So this is always going to be at least a 2 when it enters on its own. However, there are benefits for it being an ETB versus some sort of static ability.
And that's what I'm saying, Stu. I think you're getting hung up on the whole devotion ability. Just forget about that. It doesn't matter. The fact that this has already 2 devotion on its own when it enters the battlefield is the only thing that matters. Because Lab Maniac, think about it. Lab Maniac and this both require the same condition for you to win the game, which is you have to have, very few, if any, cards left in your deck. Lab Maniac is a 2/2 bear that basically just sits out there and does nothing up until you have no more cards in your deck. This, not only is it a win the game tool later in the game, but early in the game, it's pretty good. I mean, it's still a decent card to play early in the game.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't have that
better.
whole kind of like late game is only time it's good thing. And also for the Jace Planeswalker, which is inherently the Lab Maniac, that one's also, I'd say, a little better as well. However, different mana cost, different realm, might die sooner. It's hit to certain things. So, yeah, this is definitely another piece of that arsenal, which is getting scary considering they already have 3 pieces. It's like what we keep seeing with Merciless Executioner and like all those other cards which are inherently clones of it. Like, oh, no, we have 4 versions of this. Like, thanks, Wizards.
Hey, that one I don't have a problem with. You know that.
I know that. But all right, so how much are those going for? A Thassa's Oracle and a foil Whirlwind of Denial.
Well, Royal Whirlwind Denial is maybe like $1 or $2. Not
just
much.
Look it up real fast. We get time. I'm opening the pack.
Well, no, I did. And Thassa's Oracle is right now the normal version is like $3. So it came down. Like at one point, it was almost like $10 a pop, but it came down but people still are very high on the card, and I know, and it's clear why.
Well, I mean, yeah, anything that can flat out win you the game and give you value for a low cost of mana, why not? All right, so now we are at just about the end of the commons. There we go. All right, so our first uncommon that we're looking at, greetings from Sea God Scorn, Inevitable End, Wolf Willow Haven, and our rare is Strider.
Hey, best card in the set right there.
And we'll finish out the pack real fast before we go into it. Next card, just the land. So, all right, we finally didn't get one foil, which is the first pack out of, I think that's our 5th pack right there. So let's talk about Strider real fast. Now, this is a creature. It costs 3 mana, 2 generic, and a black for a horror with a 3/2 body. And it reads, when Strider enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 white goat creature token. And it also has another effect of sacrifice another creature. You can go ahead and scry 1. And lastly, it has the escape effect for 5 mana, 3 generic, and 2 swamps. Exile 4 of the cards from your graveyard, and you can cast this from it and put it into play. And then lastly, one other thing is when it goes ahead and escapes, put 2 1/1 counters on it. So that is a mouthful of text right there. But this is, again, one of the cards Kyle was screaming and loving about. So you just start off with it, man. Why do you? All
right. Well,
much?
I've said it before in our Theros video from a while back, and I'll say it again. I do literally actually believe that this is the best card in the set. Not because it is absurdly powerful, like maybe a god is, for example. It is pretty powerful, but not like a god powerful, but just the fact that not only is it a really solid card, it does everything that any deck that plays black really wants to do. And it's basically a card that it's across the commander format good in almost any situation. Let's think about Viscera Seer, right? That's the best comparison to this card. Viscera Seer is like infamous for the combos it creates.
Yeah, free sack outlets right there.
Strider is exactly the same thing, but it's better. It's a better Viscera Seer. It creates its own body to sack when it comes into play. It's bigger, so it can survive more stuff. And if it dies, guess what? It's going to come right back. I mean,
the only difference from like Viscera Seer to this is that Viscera Seer can sack itself, where this one can't.
Which is notable.
But however, Viscera Seer usually comes back via a variety of ways. This one is its own self-propelled way from the grave. It has its own loophole.
It's just it's so good. Like, it's just such a great value engine that it's amazing. Though the only thing that I'll complain about is, why couldn't they make it a zombie? Like, come on, man.
Well, all right. First of all, that would have been a mythic if it was a zombie. Honestly, it should be a mythic because it's already so much on it. It's just incredible for just mono black, blue black, green, white, black. I mean, just add like whatever you're adding black to. This is great if you're using stuff with the gray. Like a Muldrotha, would you love this? Yes, please. Like, this is great right there. So,
well, yeah, and like I said, this is Nightmare Shepherd's partner in crime, and it also, like I said, just across the board, any deck that runs black in it to some extent probably wants to sack creatures, and scrying, sacking, great history there. So, yeah. Free sack outlets. Free sack outlets are broken. When are people going to realize this?
Yeah, and also this has now forever become eternalized as a staple for Grave Pack decks.
Absolutely.
So what is a Woe Strider looking like right now for if you wanted to buy one?
It's actually, like, surprisingly to me at least, but probably not to anyone else, it's actually only like $2.
Yeah, well, the set also just came out recently, so none of these cards are really hard to find. You give it a couple more sets, that might change.
Maybe.
All right, so now we're starting off again, going through the commons pretty quick. And then, all right, Kyle, you calling another foil this pack or no?
I think so. You know what? Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now we're on to our first uncommon. It is one with the stars. Staggering Insight. Reverent Hoplite.
Hoplite, yeah.
And our rare is Allure of the Unknown. And to finish the pack. All right, we did it. God help me. How do you even say that?
Ichthyomorphosis.
Yeah, thank you, man. Full art land, and we have the Nightmare token. So, all right, so let's go ahead and we'll look at the rare. So, Allure of the Unknown. So, this is a 5-drop sorcery that is in the Rakdos Guild. It's 3 mana, and again, a red and a black. So, it reads, reveal the top 6 cards of your library. An opponent exiles an on-land card from them, and then puts the rest into your hand. That opponent may cast the exile card without paying its mana cost. So this is a very similar card to almost like Fact or Fiction. However, you are potentially giving your opponent something where they would get nothing in the fact of Fact or Fiction.
Yeah, this is just not a good card. You remember Dubious Challenge from Kaladesh, and how everybody was looking at it all over like, oh, this has to be broken somehow. And then everybody just realized, no, it's just crap. This is the same thing.
How do you really feel about it, Kyle? Jeez. No. This
well, no, I was looking at it. I was looking at it this way. I was looking at it that way too. I saw this card at first, and I was like, oh, there's got to be some way this card is good. And I thought about it. I was like, no, it's really not. It's just not at all.
You could bring this card out from exile before your opponent can cast it, which would then go ahead and make it so that they get nothing from it. However, to do that in Rakdos and in Rakdos alone, not easy. So
wait, how are you going to bring it out from exile? They can't. They don't even have to pay its mana cost.
Rift Sweeper.
Like they'll just but they'll just play it.
Well, right.
Like they're not going to let it
sit
around.
However, it's still got timing. So if it's a sorcery, if it's a creature, if it's an enchantment, they have to wait to the time where they have the ability to cast it. If it's an instant, like for some reason they go ahead and they hit a counter spell. Yeah, sure. Good luck getting rid of that now. That they're going to be able to just say, hey, freebie, don't play this. This is a nope.
I don't know, man.
All right. So the point of this card right here, it all depends on how desperate you are to have a hand. If you are using Hellbent, which you're inherently not having a hand or something like that, or you're using cards that are a little janky where it's so like narrow line for your commander that no one else would really want to use them, then that's not bad. And also, if you're using something like Teammates, like if you go ahead and use Politics, now you have someone being like, hey, let me be it. I'll give you whatever. I'll promise what I'll give you what you need for right now. I might get something out of it, but like we can agree on something. So again, with Politics being in the game, you can always make an argument for this card.
I don't know that you can actually though, because it says opponent. If it said player, you could use it on a teammate, but if it's opponent, I don't think you can.
Well, right, but I'm saying still, like an opponent teammate for Politics.
Well, okay, but
that's what I'm trying to go for.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted this card to be good, and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, no, it's just not. Let's just move on.
Yeah, we'll move on. So how much is one of those going for? The way you're talking about, I'm assuming less than
yeah, not even $1, yeah.
All right, let's clear out some of these bad boys right here. All right, so now open up our next one. So that is 5 out of 6 packs we have a foil in. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
These fat packs, man. My brother's got the magic touch.
Well, yeah, as is evidenced by the fact that he beats us all the time in Super Smash Brothers.
That's, we're just taking on magic right now, so it's all good. So yeah, we'll go through, get these commons gone. And first uncommon we are looking at, it is a card called Dreamstalker Manticore. Mire Triton. Mystic Repeal. The rare is this Astral of the Endless Web. And then we got our lands and a goat. So let's look at Astra of the Endless Web.
I think it's Arasta. Yeah.
We'll call it not Vraska. How's that sound?
Yeah, okay.
So not Vraska. It costs 4 mana, 2 generic and double green for a legendary enchantment creature spider with a 3/5 body. And now this creature goes ahead and reads as having reach, and also whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach. So this is kind of in the roundhouse of like green likes to do, just building out tokens the best way it can. Reach with spiders is kind of like the old form of old school alpha magic. Like seeing that on creatures to get rid of flying is kind of cool. It's just interesting having a spider as a commander now. That wasn't really an option beforehand.
Well, no, that's not true. Remember Ishkana, Graph Widow from Shadows over Innistrad.
That is right. I forgot about that.
And with this card, Spider Tribal gets one tiny step closer to being relevant. We're working on it. We're working on it.
But this is also a form where it's like if you go ahead and you have like any way of doubling tokens, this is good. Anything for like sacking tokens. It's got a decent body. It's got the very spider variant build. Little attack, a way bigger butt. Disincentivized attacking. It's just the fact that it's like it's totally based on when your opponent does
exactly
things. It's like, all right, how do you plan for a lightning strike is more or less how it goes. It can be good, but this is probably better for a 99 as opposed to a commander. But that being said, I'm not saying anyone should not try to do it. We'd love to see a build. Let us know. Send us a link description or something.
Hey, if you play in a play group that plays a lot of Spellslinger and they're just making you sad because you just want to be a green player and go Timmy all over everybody's face, play this card.
That's a good point for that. And I just pulled my headphones out of my own head. All right. So now, so how much is that guy going for? I don't think it's going to be much.
No, $1, maybe less. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now let's go on to. We have 3 packs left. Let's go on to pack number 7. Nope, number 8. I can't count.
Hey, you're the math person. You should be able to count.
I am the math person, but I'm just getting taken into the world of Theros right now. All right. Now, 2 omens back to back. You don't see that.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
All right. So our first uncommon is Threnody Singer.
Oh, okay.
We'll say that. The Birth of Meltus. First actual saga that we've got.
Saga, nice.
Speaking of Grey Merchant, we have one now.
Gary.
New artwork, which is pretty cool. And our first rare is Phoenix. Of Ashe. And our next cards are land and a... So now let's look at Phoenix of Ashe. Now this is a 3-drop Phoenix creature with a 2/2 body, and it's going to cost 1 generic and double red. And it reads with flying haste, kind of like the stuff that you're used to seeing on a typical Phoenix. There we go. Now I got it in view. Sorry about that. And it has for 3 mana, 2 generic and a red, that this creature can go ahead and get +2/+0 until the end of the turn, which is a bigger form of fire breathing. And it has escape on it for 4 mana, 2 generic and double red, where you go ahead, you exile 3 other cards from your graveyard, and you cast this and put it into play. And when you go ahead and escape it, it enters with a 1/1 counter on it. So this is like the other Phoenixes that you're typically used to seeing. There's usually a way for them to recur themselves out of the grave, whether it's some sort of like mana cost or some sort of scenario for you to go ahead and do it. It's just another Phoenix, I kind of want to say, for this, unless you have something to add to it, Kyle.
No, I mean, I'm just like I'm. It's always interesting how they constantly innovate the Phoenix mechanic of, like you said, bringing the cards back from the graveyard. This one actually, like in the history of Phoenixes, a lot of them are just kind of janky and not great. This one's actually not that bad. I mean, the escape is like pretty reasonable. The size of the body and the fact that it has haste, as well as the fire breathing, which can be iffy, but it's an okay card. It's not something I'm rushing to play, but you know what this screams to me is that why is there no Phoenix Commander yet? Why do we not have a legendary Phoenix?
Yeah, there's no Phoenix Commander and there's no Boros Dragon that's legendary. Those two things just kind of stick out to me because we've seen Phoenixes. I mean, there's probably at least 10, 12 of them right now.
Oh, at least. Probably more.
I mean, if you're looking at just that mono red, and the reason why we're saying the other Phoenixes aren't too great is they typically go to the hand as opposed to the field. Some of them can go to the field, but the old school way, it's like this dies, return to your hand, return to the deck. And so, it's cool for, the whole idea of, what a Phoenix does. It comes back from the ashes, and it's constantly like a cockroach. It keeps coming back. It's a more beautiful cockroach, but and dangerous one. But, yeah, this one, it just Wizards. Tell us why we want Phoenixes.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see.
All right. So on to our next pack. So how much is one of those guys going for?
It's less than $1.
Less than $1.
So far, we're not faring as well with this one as we did with the Eldraine one.
Hey, I mean, it's all good. Oh, I can't even open the pack.
Well, that means it's a good one.
Yeah, it must be.
Hopefully.
It's the tomb. It's the vault. Doesn't want to be disturbed. All right, let's fly on through these. And also, like we said, Ixodron just came out. Let us know some of the cards that you're pretty excited for with that one. I already have a handful.
Ikoria.
Ikoria. It's blah, 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 blah. It's legit. It's one of those things for me always. All right. Come on, where are we going? It'd be actually pretty cool if I get one of my spec cards I was talking about. All right, so let's say first uncommon. So get all the ones you wanted. Dream Shaper Shaman.
Nice. All right, that's cool.
I loved how they came back with vehicles again. Thundering Chariot, Rise of Glory, seeing Daxus again, and Aphemia, the
Cacophony.
Gosh, give me some easy words, please. All right, now this is a 2-drop legendary enchantment creature that is a harpy with a 2/1 body that costs 1 generic and a swamp. That is flying, and at the beginning of your end step, you may exile an enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. And 2 cards, one is a land and one is a token. So this card here, it can be a commander. I don't know if it necessarily should shine as the commander. I think it's a little bit more of the 99 here. But it is some good value. It depends on what you're doing for enchantments. You do see enchantments in black, especially in the realm of Grave Pact and stuff like that, or being able to get card draw like a Phyrexian Arena or something like that as well. But usually you want to keep those. So exiling them is good from the graveyard because you really don't have a way to recur them with black. However, I mean, black really doesn't want to ever lose anything in its grave. So I mean, it's a little right
there. I mean, I don't know. It's very aggressively costed, which is nice, and I like the fact that it's doing something with enchantments. Because of that, it's kind of outside the realm of what black cares about a lot of the time, which is interesting. But I also respect the fact that Wizards is trying to make more legendary creatures, even at uncommon rarities, to give us commander players a little more, another bone to play with there. But I don't know how I feel about them making deliberately subpar legends.
I mean, I don't mind them adding some legendary claws onto some creatures here and there, but this one truly didn't need it, honestly.
I don't get this one, but whatever.
And Harpy, it really isn't something that's kind of a tribe that we end up seeing anywhere. It's kind of sprinkled throughout Magic.
At Wizards, you can't do this because every time you do something like this, then all the players like us are going to start clamoring for, why isn't Harpy Tribal a thing? This isn't Yu-Gi-Oh!
I don't think anyone's going to be really clamoring for it. I think some people might be trolling with it, sure. I mean, there's some subtypes like Phoenix, like we're saying. Sure, that one's relevant. It's been around for how many sets? Sure. Harpy...
Like I said, this isn't Yu-Gi-Oh!
All right, so now let's go ahead and move on to our last pack while Kyle goes ahead and price checks that bad boy.
That's, again, less than $1.
Not even checking. I'm on to you, Kyle. All right, last pack. Let's get a drum roll at home, please. See what kind of little bit of magic we can get from, well,
all right,
magic. All right. All right, going through the commons.
Mm-hmm.
And our first uncommon. Hello again, Whirlwind Denial. Good to see you again, brother.
Nice.
Chainweb Archner. Another spider.
More spiders. Yay.
Mischievous Chimera. Just gotta love saying mischievous.
Interesting.
Hey, Labyrinth of Scophos.
Huh, okay.
And a token. So this is actually a pretty cool card. I actually wanted a copy of it myself. And we'll show everyone what it does. So this is a land. It goes ahead. It can tap to produce 1 generic mana, diamond mana, whatever you want to call it. And for 4 mana, you can go ahead and tap this, remove target attacking or blocking creature from combat. So this is kind of like a mystifying maze, but now inherently it's a little bit better because it also can target a blocker, which is, well, again, it's doing more. So it's a little bit better in that regard.
That's interesting. It's interesting for sure. I mean, removing an attacking creature from combat, it's the same, 4 and tap. It's basically the same thing as Mystifying Maze in that respect. However, Mystifying Maze also exiles the creature, which can be good, can be bad. This, like you said, Stu, also can remove blocking creatures from combat. So it won't stop your creature from being blocked. So, like, if you swing and somebody blocks and then you use this, your creature's not going to do damage unless it would otherwise. So
unless
you can't get around that. Well, right. That's why I said unless it could otherwise. But you're not going to get around that. However, you will save your creature from maybe unexpectedly dying, or if you want to just get an attack trigger off and you don't want to worry about it dying. That's what this is good for. And honestly, this might be just straight up better than Mystifying Maze because of it.
Yes and no. I mean, again, I think it's a little better. Again, 1 exiles, 1 just kind of in a scenario. And also, I look at this. This takes 5 mana to go ahead and use the effect for and this land. So it's kind of a big money pit to kind of have that happen. But again, it works. It's useful. It doesn't have to be one of your creatures. It can be any opponent, giving you some political access. So it's definitely interesting. I enjoy it. I know it's not a money card. This is definitely at least, I think, a buck.
No, it's $1, yeah.
But it's still an awesome card to take note of. I mean, if it costed like 2 mana and tap, definitely something to take note of right there. But also, just to point out, if a Blight steals out and somebody has this and like, hey, I'll help you kill that player. They have a blocker, sure, they won't die to lethal, but now they can. And that's kind of the whole point in Commander for a card like this. If you have room for extra lands, this sometimes is viable.
Yeah, it's interesting to say the least.
So now we'll go ahead real fast. Before we go ahead and look at that, I'm going to go and open up one of the foil packs just so you have an idea of what is in this. Right. So it's already showing us. Oh gosh. What was the name again?
Is that another Arasta on top?
It's a foil alternative version of it.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool.
And not Vraska. Yes, it's one of those.
Yeah.
And so we got a cool foil variant of that card right there. And then the rest of it are the full lands. And I wasn't sure if they're going to give you the actual like full art ones that we were seeing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because that would have been really cool getting like a full playset of each land type for that. However, also getting these basic lands foil really begs the question of like, all right, are foil lands actually going to be worth anything then? Because if you can just get them willy-nilly in a fat pack, like, these will never be more than just a couple cents.
Yeah, probably not, but still, it's cool. I mean, if you really want to, if you really care about blinging out your decks, go ahead and do that.
That's a really cool thing about it. For beginner players, like, I remember I had, and when I got a first fat pack, legit, like, 1 foil forest for, like, an elf tribal thing I got from, like, Whirlwind. And I was like, oh, God, every time I tutored for land, if I didn't have it in my hands, I'm getting foil. This is my good luck charm right here. So it's got some novelty to it for sure. But we'll go real quick through this again. We'll show you guys the glory that we've plundered into. So real fast version. We have a Labyrinth of some S word.
Scophos.
A Harpy I can't pronounce either. We have the Phoenix of Ashe. We have the Not Vraska. We have Allure of the Unknown. We have,
Ichthyomorphosis.
Woe Strider. Thassa's Oracle. Destiny Spinner. You weren't one of them, but you know what? Hell, we'll give you a shout out right there. Whirlwind Denial.
Yep.
Omen of the Hunt. Anax. Temple of Abandon. Nightmare Shepherd. And Furfrou's Intervention. So all in all, pretty decent haul.
Interesting cards there for sure.
But that is going to conclude what we have going on right now. So this is our video from quarantine. Hopefully we should be able to go ahead and get some set hidden gems to you pretty soon. Give you a little bit of a spoiler.
Maybe talk about some Ikoria cards, which, despite my overall disappointment with the set, there are still a couple cool things to call out.
Oh my God, Kyle, we're not bringing that up right now. We'll talk
next time.
But so until then, be sure to check us out on our social media platforms. We have our own Reddit subreddit right now. We have our own decks on Tapped Out and our own ideas. We have our Facebook page. You can reach out to us on Twitter, and you can always email us. And we're at the Panhandle, TheCardPool for all this stuff. And
yes,
in
indeed.
Addition, we also have our own affiliate link with TCG players. So if any of these cards kind of tickle your fancy, you can go ahead and check out the prices, see if it's a good deal to snag. So if you click on the link down below in the descriptions, that'll help the channel a lot.
Yeah, and please like us, subscribe to us, do whatever you can to follow us, because we want to keep bringing you good content whenever you're looking for it. And we're going to do our best to keep pushing things out, despite the fact that we're all stuck in our houses right now.
Yeah, which is great because I don't have to see Kyle as often.
Well, you're seeing me right now.
Yeah, I can look away. But until then, I'm Stu.
I'm Kyle, and we'll see you next time
at the card pool.
Yeah, we got it. No, we got it right that time, I think.
I don't think we did, dude. I think you're in your own world again.